Hello everyone, this is the very first video on my implementation in our class. We are going to start with the second grammar point of the fourth unit with this video. The point is called, as you see on your screen, Modals of Obligation and Prohibition. I'm pretty sure that you are quite familiar with this point, however, we're going to have a look at some details about this in this video. Let's start with the first page. Do you remember hackathon that we attended last semester? And do you remember the people who have taken risks and succeeded in achieving their goals? They also gave some speeches about courage. Do you remember them too? Let me ask you a personal question. Have you ever been courageous enough to take risks in your life? I know you are too young to ask that question, but have you ever thought of changing the direction of your life with an immediate decision? To be honest, I have never, but you are more courageous, so you may think more than me, who knows? Now I'm going to show you some famous people who succeeded after they had failed. It is really surprising and you are going to get shocked after reading their interesting life stories. Let's start with Steven Spielberg. He was rejected from the University of Theatre, Film and Television. Can you imagine that? How about Michael Jordan? He was cut from his high school basketball team. Look at the reason, for a lack of skill. Interesting. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. Okay, and Oprah Winfrey, who is a really famous news presenter, was first fired from her job as a news reporter just because she wasn't fit for TV. And the Beatles, they were rejected by a recording studio because they thought they weren't good enough for the future or for show business. Interesting again. And of course, some entrepreneurs. Steve Jobs, when he was 30, he was removed from the company he set up. And who would have thought that he would rewrite computing history by creating innovative products that would change the world? Apple, right? And Bill Gates, he dropped out of Harvard. You know, it's a university of many people's dreams, and started a failed first business before creating the global empire that is called Microsoft. Okay, so as you can understand that, you shouldn't give in to mistakes or to failure. You shouldn't give up on your dreams just because you make minor or maybe major mistakes, not important. So pursue your dream and go after it because you'll take it one day, trust me. Let's move on. Fail. It stands for first attempt in learning, so keep it in your mind. We're going to listen to the first part of a seminar and you're going to answer the following questions. In order to do that, you may need, of course, you will need a clean sheet and a pencil. Please take them with you and take notes down while listening. All right, the questions are here. Who is the seminar for and what's the topic of it? Have you taken your sheets and pencils? All right, let's start then.
CD 1, Track 33.
Thank you for coming. It's good to see so many young entrepreneurs here. Today, I'm going to talk about how to get rich. The American writer Scott Fitzgerald once said, "Let me tell you about the rich. They are very different from you and me." He's right. The super rich have a number of personal qualities that make them different, but they aren't all good qualities. Here are some ideas for you entrepreneurs who want to get rich.
So, as you understand, and I'm sure as you have taken notes, this seminar is for young entrepreneurs, and the topic is how to get rich, since the rich are different from you and me. Okay, let's move on. You're going to listen to the rest of the seminar this time, and there is one question that you need to answer. What entrepreneurial qualities does the speaker mention? You are going to take notes down on the sheet that you have, and there will be 6 qualities that you need to write. Okay? If you're ready, let me start.
CD 1, Track 34.
Here are some ideas for you entrepreneurs who want to get rich. The first thing is, you sometimes have to be a bit mean. You shouldn't be too generous. John Paul Getty, one of the richest men in history, put payphones in the bedrooms of his house so that his friends couldn't make free phone calls. Number 2, you should start early. Really rich people know they want to be rich even when they're children. Matthew Freud sold mice to his school friends. He said he would be a millionaire by the time he was 25 years old. He was right. Number 3, don't be too extravagant. You mustn't waste your money on stupid things. Bill Gates doesn't wear a suit. He doesn't care about looking good because he doesn't have to look good. If you spend all your money on expensive holidays and presents, you'll probably never be rich. Number 4, be confident. You must believe in yourself. Everyone has great ideas, but 99.9% of us never do anything about them. Anita Roddick, the boss of Body Shop, said, "It's all about having a good idea and having the confidence to sell it to the public." Number 5, you have to work hard. Work long hours. This is the most important thing. No one ever got rich by sleeping half the day. Rupert Murdoch goes to 5 o'clock meetings. That's 5 in the morning. Bernie Ecclestone, the Formula One billionaire, went to his office at 6 in the morning. Every day. Even when he reached the age of 70. Number 6, think big. Be ambitious. You shouldn't think about the limits of your business. Sell yourself to the world, not only your hometown. Of course, there are lots of other things.
So if you want to be rich, you need to be awake more, right? Because he said no one ever got rich by sleeping half of the day. Okay, that's right. All right, these are the points that were mentioned during the listening. Be mean, don't be too generous, don't be too extravagant, be confident, work long hours, and be ambitious. So in order to be rich, these are the points that were given during the seminar, all right? Let's go with the next page. We're going to do the listening one more time, and I want you to take notes down on the sheets, okay? Let me start the listening again.
CD 1, Track 34.
Here are some ideas for you entrepreneurs who want to get rich. The first thing is, you sometimes have to be a bit mean. You shouldn't be too generous. John Paul Getty, one of the richest men in history, put payphones in the bedrooms of his house so that his friends couldn't make free phone calls. Number 2, you should start early. Really rich people know they want to be rich even when they're children. Matthew Freud sold mice to his school friends. He said he would be a millionaire by the time he was 25 years old. He was right. Number 3, don't be too extravagant. You mustn't waste your money on stupid things. Bill Gates doesn't wear a suit. He doesn't care about looking good because he doesn't have to look good. If you spend all your money on expensive holidays and presents, you'll probably never be rich. Number 4, be confident. You must believe in yourself. Everyone has great ideas, but 99.9% of us never do anything about them. Anita Roddick, the boss of Body Shop, said, "It's all about having a good idea and having the confidence to sell it to the public." Number 5. You have to work hard. Work long hours. This is the most important thing. No one ever got rich by sleeping half the day. Rupert Murdoch goes to 5 o'clock meetings. That's 5 in the morning. Bernie Ecclestone, the Formula One billionaire, went to his office at 6 in the morning. Every day. Even when he reached the age of 70. Number 6. Think big. Be ambitious. You shouldn't think about the limits of your business. Sell yourself to the world, not only your hometown. Of course, there are lots of other things.
Alright, as you can guess, these are the answers. You shouldn't be too generous, and the following one is you should start early. The next, you mustn't waste your money. And the fourth, Bill Gates doesn't have to look good. And the fifth, you must believe in yourself. And the last is here, you have to work hard. Okay, as you can get the sense from this part, these models that are written in bold are used to talk about some not exactly obligation, but kind of giving advice like strong or less strong. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the sentences in details. Let's start with the first part. These are the sentences with have to and must. Okay. As you see here, you sometimes have to a bit mean or you have to work hard. In the first two sentences, we know the meaning of have to or has to is about law or, some rules that cannot be changed. But here, the meaning changes. Like, you must believe in yourself. The speaker sounds like he gives some advice. But the advice is strong one, alright? Let's move on with the next. Yeah, you mustn't waste your money on stupid things. Again, you know the meaning of the meaning of mustn't as prohibition. Like, you mustn't smoke in closed areas. Come on, it's a rule, law, you cannot change it. But here, you mustn't do it. It's my suggestion, but more than suggestion, it's like if you want to do it, you mustn't do that. Like giving a really strong advice, okay? Because when we talk about the negative form of it, have to and has to, he doesn't have to look good. It is the meaning, the meaning doesn't change here. The meaning doesn't change here because it means it's not necessary, not compulsory. Remember, it was about Bill Gates Bill Gates. He doesn't wear some formal suit because he doesn't care about his look. It's not important for him because he doesn't have to look good. It's like, let's say, tomorrow I'm off, so I don't have to wake up early. It's not necessary. You understand that, right? Okay, so we can say that not necessary or compulsory. For these things, we use don't or doesn't have to. And you know should and shouldn't really well because we use them in order to give this time suggestion. Because when we compare must, have to or has to and should and also shouldn't, we can say that must and have to are stronger when the meaning is about giving advice, okay? Because should or shouldn't is like my opinion. It is the idea that I have, okay? In order to summarize them, I have made some more example sentences that I want to share with you here. I must call my dad tonight, or you have to hand in your homework on Tuesday, or you must have to come and visit us the next time. So these are all about giving strong advice, okay? As you see here, when the speaker strongly advises to do something. All right, let's move on. When it comes to rule that cannot be changed by the speaker, we prefer using have to or has to, as it is written here. Yep. When it comes to negative, as I told earlier, you mustn't park here, you mustn't wear jeans at work, you mustn't speak when the teacher is speaking. These are all about prohibition. You are not allowed to do them. You understand it, right? Okay, one more time. Don't have to don't have to wear a tie, it's not important. Don't have to come with me. If you want, it's okay. You don't have to dress up for the party. Wear whatever you feel comfortable in. So these don't have to or doesn't have to show me that it's not important. You can do whatever you want, okay? Not compulsory. All right. So before going on, I want to tell you something about what can I say? Yeah, okay, first of all, shouldn't. You should send an email. We shouldn't go there by train, it's too slow. So, you know, these are for suggestion. Okay. Now, in order to summarize that before moving on, we can say like this. Have to and has to. They are used to talk about rules and laws, okay? The opposite of them is mustn't. You mustn't do it, it's prohibited, you're not allowed to do that. All right, so one more time. To talk about rules and laws. For positive sentences, I use have to, has to. For negative ones, I prefer using mustn't. Okay, the second version. When we use or when we talk about the things that are necessary for us, for example, I have an exam tomorrow and I must study a lot, okay? It's important for me, I use must. If it's not important, I use don't have to, doesn't have to, not compulsory. Okay, these are the first and very important two meanings of must, have to. When we talk about strong advice, we use must or have to and they both mean the same. For example, let's say there's a movie, I watched it and it was amazing. I tell you, you must see the movie or you have to watch it, it's excellent. Okay? I can use both of them. With the same meaning, when I want to talk about the negative version of it, I use only mustn't. Alright? So, let's say, for example, you mustn't do it if you want to save time. Okay? One more time to summarize. Have to, has to, rules. Mustn't is the opposite, prohibition. Okay, in pocket. Must about something which is necessary to do so, and don't have to, not important, not compulsory, also doesn't have to. And here in this video, the last version that we are right now learning, we use must and have to give strong advice, and the opposite is only mustn't. Okay? Let me give one more time an example for the last one, for the one that we are currently learning. Let's say, okay, you have to go there. The place is wow. Or you must see the bar. It is really exciting. Okay. The opposite is, you mustn't smoke more if you want to be healthy. Strong advice. You understand? Great. Okay, let's move on. So, if we strongly advise someone to do something, we use have to or has to. And also, must. If we talk about the thing that, yeah, for me it is the right thing, it's my suggestion, yani, in my opinion it's something like this. You know, we use should. If we strongly advise someone not to do something, we use mustn't. And if we tell someone that it is not the right thing to do, in my opinion, we use shouldn't. Great. And you know, not necessary, not compulsory, but if you want, you can do it. In that case, we use don't or doesn't have to. You understand that, right? Okay, let me emphasize it one more time. This blue box is different from law, rule, blah, blah thing, okay? This is about giving advice. Understand? Great. Okay, let's have a look at these pairs of sentences. In each case, do modal verbs express advice or obligation? Look at the first one. You mustn't smoke in here, sir. So it is obligation, even prohibition, right? Ah, honey, you mustn't waste your money if you want to buy a luxurious house. So it is advice, but a strong one. You have to wear a suit to work. It's a rule, right? So obligation. You have to see that film. I liked it really much. So here I use this sentence to give strong advice. Okay. You must believe in yourself, honey. Yeah, as you understand from honey, it's about advice. But you must have a passport if you want to enter the country. It's a rule, right? So I can say that is obligation. Any questions? All right. If you have any questions, you can ask me in class during our activity time. I'm going to upload this video and you're going to watch it at home, and in class we're going to do some activities. See you later. Take care of yourselves.